All right, let's do it, people. Some more Hollyoaks news has been released, and this time, unfortunately, it is by the Sun. So let's read this bit of news, which is kind of a shocker, but it's also not really if you think about the actor's journey, what they've been doing, but also it's kind of a sad-ish one, as this character has been pretty underutilized over the last couple of years and since his return. But I mean, hey, it's just how it is. Unfortunately, he didn't really get to do too much since he returned. Like he essentially had the George Kiss storyline, but other than that, he was kind of pretty under the radar and just kind of, he was always kind of the serious one with the McQueens. But unfortunately, until his battle with alcohol, it just didn't really do. It didn't really work. So let's take a look. And if you don't know who that is, obviously this actor is John Paul McQueen, the actor known as James Sutton. So yeah. So, title goes, Hollyoaks star quits after 20 years ahead of soap's 30th anniversary. Obviously, the fact of John Paul debuted in 2006, and then stayed there for 3 years, disappeared for 5, stayed for 5, disappeared for 2, and then stayed for a further 6. So, it's going to say he was there 20 years, but also he's jumped in and out, all in all. Hollyoaks legend has quit after nearly 20 years on the soap. 20. The actor has been one of Channel 4's soap's most prominent faces of its 30-year history, is set to bow in a shock plot line next year. Actor James Sutton first played John Paul McQueen in 2006. He's been involved in some of the most memorable storylines in the show's history. But now the Sun can exclusively reveal that he'll be leaving the soap next year in an explosive storyline. A source said James has loved his time at Hollyoaks, but he's got other things he wants to do. John Paul is a big favourite with fans and bosses alike, but felt like the time was right for him to say goodbye to the village. James has on a new career away from acting with a self-improvement campaign for men like him. He's really revamped his own life over the last few years with fitness and mental health transformations, and he thinks it could help others to do the same. It's not a goodbye to acting, but it's not going to be the only thing he does now. I mean, if you don't know, and I will just show my face rather than show it in case his Instagram has any racy stuff, but the actor he's been getting in real good shape. Like, he has genuinely been kind of overhauling his life. And he is in absolutely great nick. I mean, I could show a shirtless one, but this is from 8 weeks ago. So, yeah. So, he's been fucking working, and it's incredible. It truly has been a transformation that I think he can be very proud of, and I think it's an approach that he can kind of think and feel about and realize that he has done a lot of good, and it's a transformation that not a lot of people actually do manage. So, full credit to James Sutton. As for John Paul, I mean, he did have the Carter Shepherd conversion therapy stuff. And he did have some fairly high profile stuff where he'd shown his life after Finn. He proceeded to kind of continue with the George Kiss domestic abuse storyline. And then did have the conversion therapy with Carter Shepherd. My God, this lighting looks fucking garbage. Can we just focus normally? Do I have to be sat like this? I have to be sat like this, apparently. So, yeah, Christ. Autofocus is an absolute melt. Fuck it. Just like this, then. There we are. So, he just underutilized, really. John Paul's been a character who I used to really dislike, and I don't really know what made me like him more. I think through time, he just grew on me. And as said before, he's kind of just been fairly undervalued in the show. Like, he's not necessarily a leading character. He has kind of just become another McQueen in a long line of McQueens that we do love, but ultimately, who's the most memorable? It's Mercedes, it's not John Paul. And it probably is the right time. Obviously, it suggests that he is going to make it to next year, which, if you thought he was going to be killed off by Jez, you would be wrong. And I kind of... It is sad in a way, but sometimes you just need to... Sometimes you just need to go ahead and leave. And hopefully in a couple of years, because he will be back in a couple of years, as said before, he joined in 2006 and left in 2008, joined in 2012, so he was on for 4 years, stayed there for 5 years, and left in 2017, and then came back in 2019. So he will inevitably be back. And I think that's rightfully so, because hopefully when he's reintroduced, he will actually be treated with the, you know, actually become a staple, become a character people think of as like a leading man, and actually gets and you actually establish a future for him, and you try and build him in. He clearly just didn't really fit with the image, where obviously he survived the time jump, but beyond that, it was kind of pretty middling in terms of that. Like, he has just been farting around, really. They've not even made it a big deal of him like getting fit and getting in shape. He just kind of has. And then you obviously have the Jez storyline, but the less said about the Jez storyline, the better, because he even felt like an afterthought in his own relationship. So, in a sense, it's sad to see John Paul leave, and I desperately hope they don't kill him off. I think it would be genuinely very sad. It would be genuinely very sad if he proceeded to... It would be very sad to see if John Paul is killed off, and I don't think they'll do that, because you keep characters like John Paul on the show, and you make it an important piece of the puzzle. So I highly doubt he will be killed off. But fundamentally, time away to a character like John Paul should probably be good, and he gets to live life and gets to enjoy being fit and healthy, you know? Gets to enjoy being in the best shape of his life. So, yeah, I think it's the right time for John Paul. At this point in time, you kind of realize maybe, you know, maybe it just hasn't necessarily worked. And now it's time to leave for a while and hope that the next time you come back, they end up changing how it works. So, yeah, here we are. Kind of sad in its own right. I will be devastated if he gets killed off. I don't think that will be the case. But still interesting to see that there will be a John Paul exit on the cards. We've not seen a lot of, like, exits all in all, so it's kind of an intriguing one to see. So, yeah. Sad to see. It is sad to see, fundamentally. But, at the end of the day, I am looking forward to seeing John Paul hopefully get a spotlight. The biggest one he's had in a while. And maybe this will be a reminder of what's to come up in the future. So yeah, tell me what you think about John Paul's exit in the Hollyoaks. Are you looking forward to it? Are you sad about it? I'm sad about it, but I also think it's time. And we're definitely going to have to do a big rebuild of the McQueens, because you have Cleo, Mercedes, Myra, if she's sticking around. It felt like Nana was obviously going to stick around, but unfortunately Diane Langton did pass away. So it feels like Myra kind of became a regular, and maybe this is what Nana would have been doing. Then you have Goldie, the kids, and another McQueen I'm forgetting. Mercedes, Goldie, Cleo, Myra, Teresa. Obviously, Teresa's back in the anniversary episode, or in the Hollyoaks later, I think. So yeah, I'm sad, but ultimately it probably was the right time. What do you think about it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I've been Ash from Watching Walford. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.